It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live. Welcome to Friday Night Live, presented by the Varsity Sports Show team. My name is Vince DeLisio. As always, joined by a couple of our amazing team members, starting with Cole Bruntz and Nick Hill. Cole from the University of Arizona. Cole, how's your week been?
It's been pretty good, Vince. Doing a couple commercials, promoting some shows. It's been good. It's been a lot more quiet on campus now that the March Madness run is over, unfortunately, but it helps get the studies back up.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. And Nick Hill from Arizona State. Nick, how's it going for you?
I'm doing good, Vince. Yeah, I was just at the Brophy game earlier today, and that was, it was a pretty awesome experience. Brophy is a very talented baseball team. I believe they were ranked 5th in the 6th division, so they're definitely one of the better teams.
Awesome. Little Brophy Bronco baseball hosting Sunny Slope today, and great matchup there and a great game. So anyway, let's kick things off here in our weekly sports wrap. We've got a lot of content, a lot of great things happening tonight to talk to you folks about, and we'll kick it off with turning it over to Cole. Cole, take it away.
Yeah, so first off, we'll have Nick here introduce Braden Goetz.
Yeah, so we have a quick pre-recorded segment from Braden Goetz. He is from the University of Arizona on the Sugar Skulls.
The Tucson Sugar Skulls Report, presented by the Varsity Sports Show, giving you a weekly insight on the latest Sugar Skulls news and updates on Tucson's indoor football league team. Now presenting the Tucson Sugar Skulls Report.
Another heartbreak at home as the Tucson Sugar Skulls comeback fell short in a 48-42 loss to the San Diego Strike Force. Tucson raised a 20-point deficit and tied the game with just over a minute to play and looked ready to complete one of the most dramatic comebacks of the season, only to watch San Diego answer with a game-winning score in the final minute. Tucson kept it close in the first quarter, but fell behind 34-14 at half. Tucson opened the second half with a rogue point from kicker Kevin Macias. Then, leaning to their most effective strength all night, which was the run game, Brandon Mackey broke loose for a 29-yard touchdown run, finished with 50 yards and 2 scores on just 6 carries. Tucson was able to steadily chip away at San Diego's lead with physical and efficient ground attack. Tucson scored 28 unanswered going into the final quarter, but was unable to pull out the W. Tucson falls to 1-2 on the season. Their next game is at home against the New Mexico Chupacabras, who they previously beat on the road. San Diego's traveled back home to take on the Quad City Steamrollers. That'll do it for this week's rendition of the Tucson Sugar Skulls Report. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, nice little recap there from Braden Goetz. Thank you, Braden, about the Tucson Sugar Skulls Report. Next, we will have Craig Baker joining us with a pre-record from UNLV, and he will be talking about the Faith Lutheran versus Palo Verde baseball recap.
How's it going, Varsity Weekly Live? I'm Craig Baker of the Varsity Sports Show, and for this segment, I present to you a game that I will recap that I had the pleasure of calling with my colleague Marlon Mundo, a Monday night baseball game between the Palo Verde Panthers and the Faith Lutheran Crusaders. It was a tremendous baseball game, and it was so much fun to call, and here is the recap. A game that started as a true pitcher's duel featured 2 aces on the bump, with the Panthers' Zach Franke squaring off against Faith's ace, Liam Radke. Radke, the Crusader, tossed 6 innings of 1-run baseball coming courtesy of an error. His strong performance on the mound had his team up 3-1 going into the top of the 7th. Franke of the Panthers, on the other hand, used his electric breaking ball to shut down the Crusader lineup, only allowing 2 unearned runs in 4 2/3 innings of work. Fellow relievers of his were able to keep it tight into the final inning at a 2-run deficit, and that's really where the Panthers came alive. Crusader seniors Herderick and Kalura allowed 6 runs on 3 hits to the Panthers, flipping the game upside down in the top half of the 7th. After getting out of the inning, the Crusaders mounted a furious comeback, plating 3 runs and getting the tying run in scoring position. But their work amounted to be too little, too late, and the Panthers escaped with a final score of 7-6.
Yeah, so thank you to Craig Banker for giving us that quick little recap on the Palo Verde baseball game. Next up, we're going to just have a quick word from our sponsors.
APAC is your one-stop source for all your automotive and heavy-duty air conditioning parts, supplies, and equipment. They're family-owned and have been the Valley's go-to for all your auto AC needs since 1982. Whether it's for your everyday or vintage car, commercial, or off-road vehicle or equipment, APAC has you covered. Call APAC, AAPAK, the AC experts at 602-254-1116 and ask for the Varsity Special to get 10% off your purchase. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Yeah, so got a couple of commercials there from our sponsors, and there's a lot of sports going on this week. Nick, both NBA playoffs and NHL playoffs are starting this weekend. What do you have any teams that are in the playoffs that you're rooting for?
Yeah, so funny you just mentioned that. I mean, just today I think the Suns beat the Warriors, so they're going to be in the playoffs. I believe they're going to be playing the Thunder. I mean, it's cool to see them in the playoffs. I mean, I don't think it's going to go the way we want it to go, unfortunately. But I hope at least, I want the Spurs to go all the way NBA-wise.
Yeah, for sure. That's valid. Yeah, I'm a Nuggets fan. We got the Timberwolves up, playing them for the 3rd time in the past 4 years. I feel like it's always – I feel like it definitely can go to 7 games for sure. I wouldn't be surprised about that. But, yeah, so what you got next for us, Nick?
Yeah, next up we have Nick Rashke. Mr. Rashke, the Nick and Nick duo. We're back here on Friday Night Live, man.
We are. Yeah.
We got a quick little Brophy recap from you from the baseball game. So what do you got for us, man?
So, well, you and I, we were both at Brophy just a few hours ago, and it was senior day at Brophy. They were going against Sunny Slope, and, well, quite a day for them it was. 15-0 was the score. That's 15-0. I mean, Brophy, their lineup was just insane. You had pitcher Charlie Borchardt. He went 4 innings scoreless. Braden Harmon, second baseman, he had some good plays, got on base a lot. Andre Ethier's son, Dre Ethier, he was pretty good at the shortstop. Then you had Ryan Fesperin, Nico Lara, Isaac Holder. I mean, I could go down their entire lineup. They were amazing. Pitcher for Sunny Slope, that was who was that? Apologies. That was Chase Simpson. He went 2.1 innings, gave up I believe it was 7 runs on like 6 hits and 4 walks. So not the best outing for them, but the scoring was really interesting because in the first inning, Brophy got a 1-0 lead. The second one, they jumped out to 3-0, and then it was 5 runs in the third and then 7 in the fourth to make it 15 runs. So they kind of scored exponentially throughout the game. So it was pretty dominant, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Brophy just kind of showcased their dominance, kind of proved why they're a high-ranked team in the 6th conference,
They did. And so Brophy is currently sitting, I believe, 5th in the state in AIA. Sunny Slope is currently down at 19th, but Brophy, they're a team to look out for in this upcoming playoffs.
They absolutely are. Nick, I want to thank you for your time, man. It's always a pleasure to have you on here.
Thank you, Nick. Yes, we'll work again.
Absolutely. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to Cole.
Thank you, Nick. Yeah, next we will have Kyle Weselick from ASU joining us talking about the Suns recap of the play-in game. What's going on, Kyle?
Not much, Cole. How you doing?
Good, man.
Good. Yeah. So that game just ended, the last play-in game for this season. Suns came out on top, 111-96, 15-point win. This was their second shot at it. They played in that first 7-versus-8 matchup. Unfortunately, they fell to the Portland Trailblazers, who went on a late run to finish that one off. But being in that 7 seed in this play-in tournament, they were given that second opportunity going up against the Golden State Warriors here today. Fast start, jumped out in the first quarter. First quarter, they were up by 18 points, 33-15 score. Golden State, just like they did in their first play-in game, worked their way back in, halftime, 5-point game. It was close going into that fourth quarter, within range. Honestly, I thought, based off of that first play-in game with the Portland Trailblazers, that there was a chance the Suns let up a late run to let the Warriors back into it, but they held their own. Jalen Green, once again, masterclass of a game, ended with 36 points, back-to-back 30-point performances. So they did secure that 8 seed in the Western Conference, but they are going to have to go up against Oklahoma City Thunder, defending champs. Again, number 1 seed in the West. It's going to be a tough matchup. But I think there's a possibility Suns could come out with a couple wins, but it's hard to see them winning that series with the offense and defense of power that OKC has. But it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. We've seen an 8 seed in the East, the Miami Heat, I think it was 3-4 years ago, made it all the way to the finals, played the Nuggets. I believe it went to 6 games. They ended up losing it, but anything's possible in the playoffs. So it'll be interesting to see.
Sure, yeah, I know the Thunder are definitely the heavy favorite to win it all, but what do you think is going to take for the Suns, to be able to go into Oklahoma City and get wins on the road like that?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough atmosphere either way in that scenario, but I think it's going to have to be on that defensive end. OKC, you can see they go on spurts where they can go on 20-5 runs, and that just can take the life out of their opponent. So staying good on defense, and 3-point shooting, I think, is going to be a very important aspect for the Suns to have a chance. In the play-in game today, they shot very well. Jalen Green, I think, had 8 3-pointers on like 8 for 12 from deep. So I think 3-point shooting is going to be the key for them on the offensive end.
Awesome. Well, that's Kyle Westlick, everybody, from ASU, and thank you for joining us. We'll pass it now back to Nick.
Yeah, so we actually got a double header here from Kyle. He's got a quick little pre-recorded segment for us, and he's going to be talking on the Diamondbacks weekend.
We're back home at Chase Field for the first time in 12 days on Friday night to open up their series against the defending American League champion Toronto Blue Jays. Diamondbacks, who have only had 2 home series all year, are back home in Phoenix, but this series has a little bit more than just baseball. On Friday night, after the last pitch, there is no reason to go home because there will be post-game fireworks. Friday night's game is also special because it's D-backs Autism Acceptance Night, presented by the Roman Empire Agency as part of the many events that recognize April as National Autism Acceptance Month. Tickets through this offer are available at special discounted rates. A portion of each ticket purchase through this offer will also be donated to autism programs in Arizona. The tickets purchased through this special event offer will include a D-backs Autism Acceptance hat. And if this wasn't enough, Saturday night's game will feature 20,000 free Ketel Marte t-shirts, courtesy of State Farm, so the first 20,000 fans into the stadium. To cap off their series with Blue Jays, the Diamondbacks are offering 2 different special event tickets for Sunday night's afternoon game. The first is yoga on the field before the game. Starting at $53, you will receive a ticket to the game, a pre-game yoga class in the outfield, and a special edition D-backs Ranchero cap. On Sunday, there is also a Canadian Heritage special event that starts in the low $60 range and gets you a seat in the hundreds level and an exclusive co-branded Canadian Heritage D-backs hat. With the D-backs back in town this weekend, it should be an exciting atmosphere at Chase Field.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Kyle, for that pre-recorded segment. I did not know all of that stuff going on at the Diamondbacks arena, so that is very cool. But next, we will have Janice Reyes from ASU talking about the ASU men's lacrosse preview.
I'm Janice Reyes with the Varsity Sports Show, and today I will be talking about some lacrosse. Arizona State men's lacrosse is coming off a big win, beating GCU at 17-2. It was one of their strongest performances of the season, with the offense working its magic and the defense stepping up. Right now, ASU sits at a record of 6-6, and it's looking to build some momentum at the most important time of the year. This Saturday marks the final regular season game for ASU, which will be taking on its biggest challenge yet, the University of Arizona. Arizona comes into this matchup with a 10-1 record and is currently ranked number 8, making them one of the top teams in the country. It's a rivalry game, and with it being the last game of the season, there's even much more on the line. For ASU, this is a chance to finish strong and prove they can compete with one of the best. For Arizona, it's about keeping its dominance going and heading into the postseason with confidence. ASU will look to carry over the energy from its last win, while Arizona will try and stay in control. Both teams have been counting down to the Territorial Cup, and you can expect a full-out effort from each side in this matchup. Once again, I'm Janice Reyes with the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to Friday Night Live, presented by the Varsity Sports Show. And we're joined by a special guest and a good friend of mine. You notice I'm sporting my Rattlers jersey here. Isaiah Houston. Isaiah, I met back in 2014 when I coached out at Phoenix College, and he quickly emerged as a leader in the program, our top receiver, our do-everything, special teams player, did everything, and moved on. Isaiah's having some audio difficulties. We may have to work with him on trying to get his audio set. Marla, can you communicate with Isaiah and help him get settled with his audio? Maybe have him log out and log back in again, and I'll talk a little bit about him while we're waiting for him to come back in. So Isaiah's got a couple of things going on. He was a multi-year player with the Arizona Rattlers. He ended up started off his career, was a big time in the youth circuit. Played high school football out at Boulder Creek. Very, very good football player. Played a couple of years at Phoenix College, had some opportunities, walked on at Arizona State, and spent some time in that program. Then ended up finding a home at Arizona Christian University, quickly emerged as their go-to, their top receiver, and then had some pro tryouts, ended up finding a home, a local hero with the Arizona Rattlers. And like I said, got my Rattlers jersey on, his signature on the back, really, really special to me, and followed Isaiah's career the last few years. He's got some options, has entertained some offers, and is getting some looks from some other pro teams, including the Canadian Football League. But he does some things locally, does some youth camps, works with kids here locally, developing athletes, and does just an amazing job doing that. And he's going to talk a little bit about that. Isaiah, can you hear us?
Now we're good. Now I can hear.
Okay, now we're good. So I set it up. I think I told your whole life story here as we're waiting for you to come back in, but I'm glad everything's okay. How you doing?
I'm doing great, Coach. You know, it's been a while since we last talked, but everything's good on this end. How about yourself? How you doing?
Everything is great, man. I am so excited to hear from you because there's so many things I want to know. And not only will we have you on tonight, you're going to be joining us tomorrow morning on the radio show as well at 10:30. We'll talk a little more about that later. But I want to dig right in and talk about this. Tell us about the 7-on-7 program called High Motion. What is it?
Yeah, so myself and my former Rattlers teammate, Drew Powell, quarterback for the Arizona Rattlers, we started this 7-on-7 team. This is our first year doing it. And so this year, you know, we just have our varsity program. It's been a lot of fun, man. You know, a lot of these 7-on-7 teams and environments these days have kind of gotten a little bad rep, you know, with the kind of the culture and the way it is out there right now. So, you know, we just kind of looked at it as an opportunity to make a good positive impact on these high school kids and give them real development, you know, not just try to go find a bunch of, you know, highest ranked kids and just go win 7-on-7 tournaments, So we got kids from all over, and we're just really trying to develop them as football players, and also young men, and just kind of show them what it takes to play at that next level.
Tell me about, before we start talking about the elite training programs that you've developed for the young ladies as well. Tell me about the Skull Athletic program, the Skull Athletic brand.
Right. So, I started that a few years ago. Kind of the idea behind that was just wanted to give kids a chance, train with a pro athlete. When I was in high school, I would have loved to train with a pro athlete and just kind of get the ins and outs of kind of what that lifestyle is like. And, with social media these days, it's kind of easy to kind of give a glimpse into how, a serious athlete has to train and kind of go about their business. So that was kind of my inspiration behind starting that. And, it's grown into, we training kids in the gym. We got the 7-on-7 program, we got the field sessions going on, and just being able to kind of give these kids what I didn't have back in high school. And, it's been a lot of fun, and just my way to give back.
And you're not just about training, blue chip kids. I mean, you're working with all skill levels, and you've developed quite a following also. And as the rise of girls flag football is growing, you're working with girls as well. Tell us how that's been going.
For sure. Right. Girls are getting to it. You see their games on ESPN and stuff nowadays. And so just thought that would be a great opportunity to kind of dive into that field and teach them the game. Hopefully we can continue to grow that side of things. But just be able to give back again and share my knowledge that I've learned over the years. And, it's only going to get bigger and bigger. So just see a lot of good opportunity there, and a lot of room to make a positive impact for sure.
How can people find out more information?
Yeah, you can always find us on social media. Instagram, it's at Skull Athletic Club. Facebook, same thing, Skull Athletic Club. And then obviously my personal handle, Isaiah Houston, if you type that in, ISAIAH, and then HUSTON is the correct spelling. You should be able to find us both on Instagram, Facebook.
Great. Isaiah Houston, thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to talking to you tomorrow morning, AM 1060 KDUS Arizona Varsity Sports Show, 10:30. Don't miss Isaiah joining us again. Isaiah, thanks again. Have a great night.
Thanks,
Love
Coach.
you, man.
You as well. Love.
We'll be right back after the break.
Tune in to the Saturday radio show brought to you by the Varsity Sports Show, where two of our interns from Arizona State, Brianna Carrillo and Jalen Higgins, will be co-hosting live with Vince Delicio from Angel Dentistry in honor of their 20th anniversary, and will feature special guest Dr. Amber Angel. Tune in on Saturday at 10 a.m. MST from KDUS AM 1060 to listen live.
Love talking to Isaiah. That guy is my hero. He's a local legend and has worked his tail off, overcome a lot of adversity throughout his career, and just keeps coming back. Arguably the best receiver in the state of Arizona. He is that good. But anyway, I'm going to turn it back over to you guys. What do we have?
I was loving the Isaiah Houston bit, Nick. I think it was really cool seeing, getting the perspective from him. I think is cool, and how he gives back to the community, with through the love that, he shares with football.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I honestly didn't know that he was part of these many different teams, being part of I believe he mentioned ASU for a little bit, and then he found his spot. But indoor, I honestly don't know a whole lot about indoor football, but I mean, it's an awesome community still, the Arizona Rattlers, they're still a great team, and I'm glad we got to get some quick peeks from him, man.
Awesome. On behalf of our amazing co-hosts, our field correspondents reporting in live tonight, and our amazing producer, Marla Mundo from UNLV, putting on a great format for the show. Thanks again for tuning into Friday Night Live. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 10 to 11 a.m., the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, as well as the AM 1060 app. My name is Vince Delicio. Thanks again for tuning in. Have a great night, everyone.
It's Friday Night Live with Vince, pregame, postgame show. Your destination for top high school previews and wrap-ups with Vince and his team. Buckle up and hang on for Friday Night Live.